Hello there.
Yes, sir. We are back with some more Sopranos today, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elie Moses, a 23-year-old law and film student in Sydney, Australia, absolutely shooting his shot. And today, we are over the halfway point of season 4 of The Sopranos with episode 7. This one is titled Watching Too Much Television. We're going to get into the reaction. We're going to have some fun with this thing. We're going to absolutely smash it. Let's go. What a show, man.
What do you hear? What do you say?
Oh, he's out of the can. Free Paulie worked. The Twitter movement worked.
On my ass. Look at this guy. You look like you're in Miami. Hey, you look like you're in Miami.
Good to be home, Skip. What can I get you, Paulie?
Hey, where did he tell Ralphie to go? To Miami.
How about late? Oh.
Hey, I saw Chris's facial expressions in the background there as Sylvia walked into the screen, or into the frame, sorry. Obviously, he's probably high on the heroin. He's trying to contain himself, but that wasn't a happy facial expression because with Paulie back, I feel like old tensions are going to resurface again, you know, with the power struggles and the change in sort of like the hierarchy and things like that and who Tony's giving orders through.
Papillon.
Oh, hello, Sil. How are you?
I heard you getting laid up there all the time.
He was dropping the soap.
Have a drink. There you go. Come on, pass it back. Over here.
This is the quietest the Bada Bing's ever been.
Oh, you guys.
Salute.
Salute.
Just a second.
If I don't see her each day.
Frank Sinatra every time, man. It just screams copyright.
My song.
Salute. Salute. Oh, come on. Come on.
What the fuck? Why is this your song?
Paulie, say hello to Brian Camarado, Com's cousin.
That I was actually thinking about that quickly. I'm sorry to keep pausing, but I was actually thinking about that yesterday after I finished episode 6. Like Tony's starting to have more meetings with Brian, Carmela's cousin, and Carmela's cousin Brian is starting to get involved in the game a little bit more. And obviously, he gave Brian the sort of contact for Patsy for the suit, but at the same time, we remember what Adriana did in terms of like giving the contacts to the FBI about Patsy's suits and things like that. So Brian could get. He's already in the game. That's it. He's in the game. He could get caught up, like in the crossfire of everything. And, you know, he was probably just a ordinary tax broker or things like that, just, you know, doing his normal day-to-day things. But, you know, Carmela dragged him in to help Tony out with the trust and things like that. But now he's involved.
The financial guy.
Hey, don't get. So.
Well, you're home now. That's the important thing. Here, get back on your feet.
Thanks, Dave.
I love the envelope slides, always.
But I could have used the boost when I was gone, too. Fucking boost. Then there's Ma with the private home care. You know, she almost lost the spot at Green Grove. An extra 5 G's it cost me just to hold her place.
Well, you went back here 30 seconds. You already got a fistful of cash. Not to mention the no-show jobs I got for you.
You're right, Tom. I know.
Enjoy the party.
I will.
Brian, man. Brian O'Connor. Come on, man. You don't deserve that name. I shouldn't have said that.
When a man threw a drink in Richard Cross's face.
Yes. But isn't there some law about testifying against your husband?
Excuse me?
Yeah, there is. It's like, it happened in Breaking Bad. That's why they kept the marriage together.
Your Honor, the defense requests a conference in chambers.
We'll stand in recess for 15 minutes while the court confers with counsel in chambers.
Oh, she's gonna wanna push the marriage with Chris now. And try and tie up the knot real quick.
What we saw out in that courtroom is a transparent attempt by Richard Cross to subvert the intent of the marital privilege.
Hey, she's his wife.
One of them nights.
Ma wasn't shit in the back. We'll go get breakfast.
Oh, s4ep7, I'll go with you. Any investment advice for ambitious young men such as myself?
Buy land, I guess. God ain't making any more of it. That's what Will Rogers said.
It's true. My house is worth nearly triple what I pay.
Location's the key, right? I mean, otherwise you get stuck with shit.
Sometimes there's money and shit. Next, you tie up with some non-profit organization who goes to HUD, says they intend to buy these houses from your stooge. They're gonna convert them to homes for working-class blacks, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, though...
Taking advantage of the system. Some good news there. You can just tell by the facial expressions what's going on. The body language. Furio, go for Rosalie, not Carmela, man.
All the way to the University of Michigan to make friends with a guy who lived 20 blocks away from me.
You should have seen the juice roll in this guy. Out to here.
So, Maurice, Ron tells me you're from down Roseville Street.
My father was a typesetter for the Star Ledger.
Oh, shit. 6th and Orange.
And we were practically neighbors.
Yeah, that's why he moved.
At least you can tell nobody's wearing a wire in the sorter, right? Like, it's a clean place to have a conversation.
Hello?
Carmela, it's me, Furio.
I guess I missed you this morning. I was in the bathtub.
Furio.
The reason I call, I leave my sunglasses in someplace, I don't know.
Oh, you're kidding. Well, let me have a look around.
The brother just put him in the glove box, man. Like,
How's everything? How's your dad?
Not so good. But I get the pictures from the housewarming finally.
Oh, good. Bring him next time.
I will. There's a pretty one of you.
Oh, that's sweet. I don't see the glasses, Fuhr.
bro, she looked under one freaking.
It's okay. I probably leave them home.
All right. Well, if I find them, I'll give you a call.
Okay.
Looks under one pillow. I don't see the glasses, Furio.
Sounds like you three got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna hit the showers. Maurice, nice meeting you.
Same here.
Maurice looks familiar. I feel like I've seen him in things before. Was he in Daredevil?
Broad strokes. Okay, we gotta
The Marvel TV series?
Dr. Frida's a urologist. We're gonna give him $500,000 of our money, have him grab up these...
And Kingpin choked him out? Spoilers.
25 grand a piece.
The old first war.
Once we own the houses, we got an appraiser who play ball. He's gonna reappraise them in the $300,000 range. What you do, Maurice, is you take the phony appraisals to HUD. Tell them your urban housing league wants to buy up these shitholes, convert them into low-cost housing for working families.
Walk away from the houses.
Your cut will be in the 10% of the profit range.
My office will write a letter in strong support of your application.
Sounds about right.
That is called abusing the system. Milking the system. Taking advantage of the system.
Is there a problem?
No problem. I just want to talk to you. You, remember that time in Atlantic City? You brought Irina, your old girlfriend?
Yeah, the cystic fibrosis thing, the fundraiser.
God. This is awkward.
Don't tell me you're...
Irina and I are seeing each other.
Oh, I was about to...
You're fucking kidding me.
I met her that night at the fundraiser.
Wasn't she due to get married?
My card. She was having some problem with her landlord. She called me months later after you two broke it off. One thing led to another.
All right, take it easy. It's ancient history.
Take it easy.
Still, I've been meaning to tell you. I feel like I owe you an explanation.
What am I, her father? You're both adults. Enjoy yourself.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
I care for her. Very deeply. Roz and I are separated. The heart wants what the heart wants, I guess.
Heart also wants what the dick wants.
Hey, who's gonna serve my back?
Ralph, you steal my water?
Believe it or not, the Shylights were signed to the same labels. Tiny James and them damn Shondells.
See, a lot of people think that, but they're wrong.
Hesh's label?
See you soon.
Beautiful girl. Little needy. Frankly, I'm glad to have her off my payroll.
Thanks. Thanks for understanding.
Good luck.
Nothing but the best, Ron.
Bro. I swear, if the FBI are in this party store, leave.
Hey, Adriana. Oh, Jesus Christ. Would you go haunt a house or something? It's been a while. Figured I'd check in. So you crawl up my ass? Heard Paulie Gualtieri's out of jail. What do I know? How does Christopher feel about that? Christopher likes Paulie. They're friends. Is that a crime now, too? How is Christopher anyway? He looked tired last time I saw him.
Look, if you're gonna turn me into a fucking traitor, fine. But do me a favor and stop asking about him like you give a shit how he is.
How's he doing with his drug problem?
He doesn't have a drug problem.
How are you doing, Aid?
Listen, I know they're doing the right, like the way they're going about this, like the way they are portrayed on screen, just pisses me off. I don't know why. Like, I just don't know why. It's like they're so cocky and arrogant about it.
I'm fine. We're both fine.
No, you're not. But like,
As a matter of fact, we're thinking of finally getting married.
yeah, marital privilege. Get out of here.
Yeah, it was cool. I love the ocean.
Your great-grandfather helped build that almost 80 years ago. He was a stonemason, the old man. Came over from Avelina with $4 in his pocket.
Yeah, but I saw in a book where you could get a hotel room for like 10 cents a week then.
Hasn't he told Meadow this story
Room service
again?
must have been like 1 or 2 cents a meal.
Room service? Talk about history here, AJ. Your family's history. Newark's history.
Oh, who gives a shit about Newark?
I'm making a point. This neighborhood used to be beautiful. 100% Italian. In the 1920s, most of them right off the boat. Most Italians couldn't even find a church that wanted them. So what did they do? Did they cry? Did they go to the government with their hand out? No. They took care of their own problems. They said, you don't want us in your church? Fine. We'll build our own. A better one. I mean, look around. Look at all these buildings around here. Most of them are falling down into the ground. But that church is still standing. You know why?
The bricks?
Because our people give a shit. That's why. Every Sunday, Italians from the old neighborhood, they drive miles to come here to pray. To keep this place alive.
So how come we never do?
Buy land, AJ. Because God ain't making any more. Hey, this is advice I'm imparting to you as your father.
Using Brian's words. Oh no, Brian got those words of someone else and told them to Tony, and Tony's telling AJ now.
See those houses over there?
Old house?
I'm buying them.
Those crappy ones? Well, what for?
For an investment. What have I been saying?
I don't know.
Real estate. Buy real estate. Hey, what's up?
What's up? 5-0?
Yeah, I'm Starsky and this is Hutch.
Smoke crack a crank.
Oh, thank you. We're just having a look around.
Yeah, no iron if you ain't buying, man.
Thought this was a free country.
Unless you want something, motherfucker, get the fuck off our street.
Oh, the language on you. You blow your father with that mouth?
The fuck you say to my sister?
Bitch. You take it easy. I don't want no trouble. I'm just showing my son the old neighborhood.
Yeah, well, this is our neighborhood now. Guinea motherfucker.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's a crack hole.
Keep your fucking crack ass off my motherfucking block.
Come on, ease up, ease up.
She's really gonna marry him? What is wrong with this girl?
This mother. See? It's the way they portray him, man. Look, these guys are eating, I don't know, FBI, and they're eating this crap food, whatever it is, fast food. But I was about to say, and sorry if you can hear external noise, someone's cutting the grass. But I was about to say is, like, they're going to be taking advantage of this community for their own profit, obviously buying all their houses. Are these people going to be displaced? Because they're going to, like, from what the assemblyman was saying, they're going to say, oh, they're going to get the mortgages, things like that. And then, obviously, the HUD or, like, the organization the other guy was running, they're going to write the excuse of, like, construction problems and delays and things like that. So these people are obviously going to be displaced, right? So they're going to clearly take advantage of this community, from what I'm hearing, unless I'm wrong.
Moldesante's a great catch.
Tall, dark, and sociopathic.
From a strategic standpoint, do the nuptials help us or hurt us?
Well, they do get married. Brings them closer, obviously. And by extension, gets her closer to Tony.
It could cause her to stop cooperating. The guilt becomes overwhelming. Remember Angel Deletto?
I think it's more likely to have the opposite effect.
His problems really become her problems.
They have kids. That's even more pressure. The Delettos never had kids.
I wouldn't count on children. She's had some issues. Female trouble.
Maybe Darwin was right. Nature really does weed out the Nimrods.
So what do we do, people? Yay or nay? Supportive or discouraging?
If anyone objects to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I say neutral or supportive.
Even if we discourage it, she's likely to go through with it anyway.
Agreed then. They have our blessing. To the happy couple.
The audacity on these guys here. The audacity. Oh, man. I know they're the FBI. They're doing the right thing, right? But it's just, like I said, the way they're portrayed, the way they're going about it. Yo, Arena gonna be over.
You know, it really would have been better if we met over at Denny's.
What are you worried about? It's in the neighborhood.
So what's up? Can I get you something? Scotch, right?
Send some of my guys down there to start gutting the place. Turned out one of the houses was a crack den.
So?
What so? We gotta get them out of there.
Why didn't your guys roust them?
Oh, nice. Bunch of white guys setting off caps in the ghetto. That won't attract any attention at all.
What do you want me to do?
Exert some influence, make some calls. Get the donut squad to go down there and roust the shitbags.
Tony, it's not that easy.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, Tony.
How you doing, hon?
I'm very good. No, I'm very well. Thanks you very much.
She's taking a class at the community college. English is a second language.
Oh. Well, you,
Good on her.
Sound great.
Ronnie, I'll go make some lunch, some egg salad.
Great. You hungry?
No.
Go light on the mayo.
Maximum value is the big picture. There must be $7,000 of copper pipe in there. They haven't taken it out already.
I still don't know what you expect me to do about it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll take the $7K out of your end?
Well, no, but...
Come on, Ronnie. University of Michigan. Fucking figure it out.
Good dinner, baby.
I mean, okay, if they're just using that place as crack, like it's a crack house and things like that, they're not really going to be displaced, right? Because clearly those houses are they've just been abandoned, and those people are just they're residing in it, like no legal occupancy and things like that. So they're just taking advantage of it. It's just the problem is like how are we gonna displace them and things like, or how are we gonna get them out of there? Because clearly they're pretty resistant, or they're pretty adamant about it being their territory. So it's a fine, delicate situation again, and you don't want to cause up and stir up too much trouble as well.
Christopher, let's get married.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Where'd this come from?
I don't know. It's gonna be 2 years we're engaged.
You can't have a club, stay out all night getting high when you have a kid.
Miracle baby, come on, man.
What if we didn't have kids?
Fuck that. What's the point of being married?
I mean, what if we can't? If I can't, would you still love me?
Of course I'd still love you. Why?
There's something you should know.
Let's see how Chris reacts to this.
Years ago, I had a medical procedure. It was before we met. My uterus got pierced.
Both of them?
There's only one. That's ovaries.
So what does that mean? You can't get pregnant?
My doctor said it might be hard. A friend of mine gave me the name of a specialist in Manhattan.
You knew you were damaged goods and you never fucking told me?
There's the reaction.
How could you call me that?
Jesus fucking Christ, how could you lie to me like that?
I tried to tell you once. I wanted to. I was afraid that you wouldn't propose.
You don't get it, Adriana. I don't have a son. The Moltisanti name ends. That's it.
We could have done.
Yeah, that's great. Some kid with chinky eyes called Moltisanti. He get his ass kicked every day.
You said you'd still love me.
That doesn't mean I'll fucking marry you.
Is that really love? I feel like it's never been love between these two. As much as they portray it, like I said, you have the highs, you have the highlights where you get caught up in like, okay, this is awesome, it's romantic, but at the same time, you remember what Chris is, who he is, how he reacts to things. Like, who calls their fiance, wife to be, damaged good? Like,
She's a great girl, Christopher. You don't want to lose this one.
And this is nothing about Aid or anybody else. Stay single as long as you can.
Oh, Mom, what are you saying?
No offense, but ask me, marriage and that thing don't jive.
Everybody we know is married.
Not everybody.
You love her, right?
Yeah, you know.
Then do the right thing. When the shoe was on the other foot, your spleen, she stood by you, right? And what are you going to end up like my Uncle Junior?
Or worse, like Paulie.
Straight dissing in the room.
All right, thanks. You gotta go think about it. All right.
It's like, I feel like Tony and Chris are almost like copy and paste characters in a way. Obviously, Chris is not as developed as Tony in terms of like how long he's been in the game, his decision making, things like that. But in terms of like their reactions and things, when things don't go wrong or when it's the things they don't like necessarily, when like it's things they don't like to hear, they have this knee-jerk reaction, right? And it always spurs in like a it ticks off. Like, it's like you think the switch, like they rant and go off about it, but like it's crazy how David Chase portrays them sometimes, where they'll have this rant, but later on they'll have this like level-headed approach. When they have time to think about it, they sort of calm down. And then here you had that cut from Chris completely raging, walking out of the room, to sort of like going to Tony for advice, and he was much more calm in his approach, and he's sort of like accepting the advice, and it's like, I'll think about it. It's like Tony has those reactions sometimes as well, where he'll completely go off, lose it, but when he has time to dwell and think about it, he becomes calm and level-headed again. It's like they don't know how to process or like deal with problems straight away. It's like the anger just kicks in. They don't know how to control it. I take it back.
Here they come.
We're late for practice. He's in the den.
Okay, thanks.
The board, Ron.
Fine, I understand. How about you take the $7,000 this is costing out of your end then?
Oh, come on.
He's using the Tony tactics here.
First wife? The chances I'm taking with this thing? I'm putting it all on the line if I get caught.
So you get some kids, gangbangers, whatever. You throw them some money. When you think about it from a policing standpoint, it's just one group of recidivists beating on another.
Stop trying to justify it, Ron. It's about the $7 grand.
Let me tell you something else. Guys like Tony, you don't fool around with these people.
Yeah, he's right there. He's right there.
And it's okay to talk about your anger. But when it manifests itself in physicality, it becomes unacceptable.
Hey, I never laid a finger on you.
You loomed. You threw my tissue holder.
Yeah, and I picked it up.
It's like a teacher disciplining her student, man. Like,
I'm
it's
very upset. You lied to me.
I did not lie to you.
You withheld information about a very sensitive subject. I know what I did was wrong, okay? And you may not believe this, but I did exercise impulse control, and I have been controlling my anger. This thing with my son, I went to show him the old neighborhood, and we got accosted by these crackheads. One of them had a gun, and the other one threw a bottle at my car. Now, it may not sound like much, but I let it go. I drove away.
Well, in the future, I'll ask that you extend to me the same courtesy you would a crack addict.
Fair. Touche.
All right, as long as we're being truthful here, opening up. I've been holding a grudge against you for recommending that Wendy Cobbler, that half-ass adolescent shrink. That stupid bitch almost sent my daughter to Barcelona.
Straight dissing the shrink she recommended.
You're right, it's no excuse. It's no excuse.
I knew I hit something last night when
Oh, Mr. T! Oh, that's the A team.
I've been at him, Lieutenant. How was your ride? Busted brake line. And what's it look like? Like a busted
Watching
brake
too
line,
much
man.
television.
When can we get married?
I was thinking maybe our anniversary we could go to Vegas.
See, they'll have these highlights. They'll have these sweet moments, and you can't get sucked into them. And I'm
Vegas? Want to get married by some Elvis impersonator?
Would save money at least.
No, it's a sacrament, Aid. Why don't we have it here? All your friends could come. Yeah, we'll have it in the great room or in the yard even if it's nice out. We can have Artie cater it.
I think Christopher's gonna ask Tony to be his best man.
I am sure he will be honored. Does your mother know yet?
The first person I've told.
We'll decorate the whole house with mums. Believe me, you will not save any money in Vegas. My cousin Jackie and her husband Tommy, $60,000 at blackjack.
I'm getting married.
Yeah! Again, with the I don't know, I love the juxtaposition cut here to, the flashy wedding, the amount of money that's going to be spent. Aid and Carmela having this, this joyful moment. They're rejoicing in the marriage. They're excited. They're excited about how much money they're going to splash, the spending, what they're going to do, the decorations, and the lighting as well. This bright lighting as well in the scene with Carmela and Aid both wearing white as well. Sort of like that angelic presence scene. Bang! Juxtaposition cut to the neighborhood and the homeless people. Short-lived moment of joy there. Oh, he hired the kids, yeah. Oh my gosh, my man pulled up with the Mac 10. Or the Uzi, I think that was an Uzi. There should be like a community center that's built to help these people, like government help and things like that. I don't know how the American system works and things like that, but it's just sad seeing this.
Hey, mister! I'll kill you, come around here, bitch! Don't come back here no more. Get the fuck out of stand, boy. Kill your asses, nigga.
The little kid, man.
Fucker's got a knife.
All right.
Yo. Don't come around here no more.
Get out of here, you filthy bitch!
Did he shoot him where I think he shot him? That was hard to watch, man.
I told you young people that crack is some bad shit.
I feel like this episode as well, the title, Watching Too Much Television, I guess ties in to last episode as well. And AJ's conversation he had with Devin, when they were driving through the streets as well, going to visit Meadow. They talked about the neighborhood itself. They talked, even Devin, when she was talking about how do these people live like this? And things like that. And AJ was talking about, I have a maid 3 times a week. My mom spent $3,000 on the statue, $3,000. That Devin replies, I had a maid too. And the way it was delivered in a way, I don't know. It was just like we're born into rich families and things like that. It's interesting how this episode, its title ties into last episode as well. Watching too much television, I feel like applies to the conversation AJ was having with his friends as well at the beginning of last episode in terms of like their perception, which I talked about last episode, that word about mafia lifestyle, gangster lifestyle, and how they watched The Godfather and what they thought a household of AJ would be, or what his father would be like, and them trying to find the strip club, AJ not knowing anything about that lifestyle as well, because his friends only knew about it from like The Godfather per se, and then obviously Devin visiting his house, not expecting what it was like to be in terms of like, oh, your father's part of the mafia, this is his house, just like that. I love the painting in the background as well about the working class.
Mr. Tiffin, you take possession as of today.
Good luck now.
We are moving forward towards greater freedom, to greater security for the average man. Even Brian is starting to wear he's starting to wear them coats, darker clothing now.
For you.
What's this?
It's a music box.
Oh, Patek Philippe.
Patek?
Patek
Yeah,
Philippe.
You got a new real estate investment.
This is like a $15,000 watch, Tony. I can't take this.
It's just a little thank you.
Oh, they'll be making more than that.
AJ, what are you doing down there?
It's me, Cobb. Down here with Bry.
Just borrowing some tools.
Crazy how Brian's got more involved with Tony. Tony didn't want anything to do with him before.
Gotta get dressed.
Patek Philippe, man. Borrow some tools. Yep. Take the drill. That's Furio. That's got to be Furio. When Carmela, you know, styling the fringe like that, I can see it. Yep.
Furio, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Come in, what are you doing out in the cold?
Today I'll wait in the car, I think.
Why don't you want some coffee?
The motor is acting funny. I need to keep my foot on the gas pedal.
Well, okay. I was looking forward to seeing those pictures, though. Yeah, let Tony know you're here.
What happened to Furio, man? Something to do with his father? Did his father pass away in Italy?
Furio's here. You doing some work in the house?
Yeah, you know, sinking some anchors for wall mirror.
How's the moose?
Fucking great. I tell you.
That's the same bridge that was in the painting before in the background, yeah?
The shit you
Is that the
missed
Brooklyn
last
Bridge?
night, there was a week where I would have killed for some good and plenties. My needs, not your problem.
What do you mean?
Fucking Tony.
Here we go.
4 months I'm up there like the man in the Iron Mask. Not one visit. Not even a fucking phone call.
Guy didn't reach out at all.
John, when do I ever complain?
We had some words. Tony made it right.
It's a different one now. I'm not sure what it is. All I know is fucking Ralphie's going around bragging about how much they're making.
This is not good. This is not good.
Listen, John, I know we talk sometimes. I tell you my problems, you tell me yours. And I have the highest regards for Carmine.
He thinks the world of you also.
Even still, this shit don't leave the table, right?
Eh.
I'm hurt that you even have to ask.
I'll call him later. I'm gonna make a stop. I'll see you back at the office and make sure that she's on the list for the fundraiser.
Oh, that's the copper. The pipe they were talking before about the 7,000.
Go to your cousins? No, Verrazano Salvage. Here's for Gene. Don't forget the fireplace mantles and the wall sconces. Go downtown to Yuppies, pay top dollar for that shit.
We're on it, Tom. Don't worry.
We're gonna strip every dollar from these places.
Hey.
Assemblyman, what brings you to beautiful downtown Newark?
Meeting with one of my constituents. You gonna be at the Bing tomorrow?
I don't know yet.
Maybe I'll see you over there then.
Maybe you will.
Is it gonna be a nice house here now?
That gotta hurt, man.
my card, okay? It's with my clothes.
Of course, I'll get the seamstress.
You look beautiful, man.
So sudden, too. The best part is going to be seeing how much people give us. Lisa told me that her and Ricky's wedding, Bobby Canzoneri,
We made profit.
covered his place. Shut up. $40 in an envelope.
Oh.
Not even a card. I'll tell you, though, the main thing about getting married, I could never be called to testify.
What do you mean?
A wife can't testify against the husband.
Oh, right.
You can't be spilling that out.
Actually, though, I don't think that's actually true.
What do you mean?
Too much
The
television.
whole murder she wrote about that. See, this butler thought his wife couldn't testify against her husband, but it turns out, legally, she actually could.
I don't know what the laws are. I don't know if that exists
In order
still.
to claim marital privilege, 3 conditions must be met. First, the communication must have been made during the course of the marriage. Anything said before you were married is fair game. 2, the communication must involve only the spouses. The presence of a third party destroys the privilege. And 3, the communication can't be made in furtherance of a crime.
Oh, my God. It's a simple question. Can they make me testify or not?
The short answer?
Yes.
Probably.
Ah.
In an organized crime, or RICO, the feds will spend a fortune putting on their case. Believe me, if they want you to testify,
They'll
they'll
make you.
find a way.
Yeah. FDNY.
10% apiece. Technically, it's a little less. But our friend rounded you up to an even 60 G's.
And there's plenty more where that came from. There's a lot of poor families need affordable housing in Newark.
You're being awfully quiet.
I don't know. Tired.
Hmm.
You ever feel bad about any of this?
What do you mean?
When I think about where we started out.
Fighting the good
I
fight.
used to think what I did made a difference. The anti-drug programs, the voter drives. But over the years, it's like shoveling shit against the tide. You know that.
I guess.
And there's money and shit.
Yeah, you cut corners, but you help out. Do the best you can.
Well, here's something I never thought I'd say. To the federal government. Depends on which department.
Salute. Different forms of cheering right there. To the bridal party. Yo, you know what? For a second, I didn't realize that was Meadow. I had to like double check. I had to get my focal lens out. I was gonna say, I love that sort of like. It's like, again, it's the moral war you have there. You know, it's like with the assemblyman. Obviously, they probably grew up wanting to fight the good fight and help people out and things like that. But probably, I don't know. You get to that position of power, or as you get higher up the ranks, I feel like you start to realize how corrupt and dirty it is, and sometimes your hands are tied. You can't do much. And, you know, if you don't take advantage of your position, if you don't secure the bag for yourself and be selfish, I guess the next person in place will probably do the same thing. I feel like no matter if I feel like if there's a good person in that place, like if someone else takes the role of the assemblyman and says he wants to fight the good fight, I feel like eventually with that system and how corrupt it is there, they're somehow going to be influenced by, you know, these external forces. Like their hands are going to be tied eventually. There's never going to be a straight, like, like a straight path to fight this thing. You might do a little bit of good on the side, but then you have to compromise. I just feel like that's just the way it is in New Jersey. It's just the way they're portraying this show. It's like hard to fight that good fight. I feel like it's almost nearly impossible. I feel like I don't know. That's just the feeling I get this episode. It's like government's not doing enough help. They're taking advantage of it. Other people are being displaced. Like it's like there's so many problems. Like it's just like they're taking advantage of the problems that the government has failed to sort of like address. I feel like I don't know.
Cappuccino maker, this is great.
Oh, is that the Capresso? You were gonna love that aid.
Cappuccino now. I used to drink Bosco.
I got it at Fortunatos if you want to exchange it.
I didn't realize that was Meadow for a second, man. I'm telling you.
No, scissors. Bad luck.
Scissors, bad luck. The crow was bad luck. His initiation for Christopher.
That's from me. I can't count how many cheese melts I've made for Silvio in that thing.
Hey, she ain't liking the gifts because she's like, they're wifing me up. I'm being a housewife here. It's all about food. It ain't money, it ain't jewelry. It's all about the kitchen. She's seeing her life as a traditional Italian house mom here. A housemaid. The leaf. Is this all they see me as? I'm just gonna be a mafia boss's wife, and he's gonna have a guma. Oh, it's the Chitlets, the same song from before. You left me now. He crying, man. He crying. You reckon he's crying about Gloria here? Carmela, Irina, like... Neat. I feel like a neat little moment of weakness there from Tony. I don't know. We had a couple episodes ago with Pi Oh My with the ending of the horse too. Now the song.
Sonny? You got anything to drink?
Where the assemblyman at?
What's going on? What's up?
Is he gonna let his anger out on the assemblyman? There we go.
Look, want to just calm down and perfectly calm. Oh, we can talk about whatever's bothering you. Yeah? Tony, this is crazy.
I wanted this to be a dream, but no. Damn! Damn! Still not as bad as my dad's belt.
This one? Go ahead. Cry like a bitch.
She was the first. How's their relationship gonna develop now? Like, what's it gonna be like for the future? It's crazy because Tony was talking about with Melfi earlier on in the episode how he's been controlling his anger. He's been balling it up. But I feel like at this point right here, that song was the trigger point at the end. Like, that was, I don't know, it was just sort of like, effort. That's it. That was the breaking point right there. I feel like that was the final straw. And yeah, that's when he went to Assemblyman. So I reckon when he first heard the news earlier in the episode with the Assemblyman, it was about controlling that anger, building it up, putting that fake smile on. And you see, last episode, Tony had to, you know, have that reassurance, be nice to people, and still hold the guilt of Gloria, or try and wash it away by doing the good deeds. But it was still burning him inside. And this episode, I guess, the Assemblyman going for Irina burnt Tony inside, and whatever he said to Melfi about controlling that anger, and, you know, not crossing the line and balling it up, not balling it up, but how do I say? He talked about with Melfi controlling the anger, right? And then he's just been holding it in this episode, and I feel like he just couldn't hold it in any longer. He had to let it out on the Assemblyman at the end. So yeah, very interesting end right there. I'm interested to see how the relationship with the Assemblyman is going to develop now. Like, is the Assemblyman just going to take this one on the chin, or is he going to, you know, not go against Tony in a way, but sort of like, in a way, try and, you know, maybe that's the final straw for him in terms of like, go fighting the good fight, as he was talking about this episode, like remembering why he did this in the first place. So it's going to be interesting to see how this develops. So, I'm going to get right into the next episode after this, ladies and gentlemen. As always, been your boy Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace. swear when I think and when I sit down and think about these episodes for a little bit longer after I watch them, I was going to get right into episode 8 right after this, and I will. But I just want to explain my, I thought about some other things as well in terms of like Tony's relationship with AJ and his inability and struggle to continue to connect with him. And I talked about in the episode, I remember I'm like, didn't Tony mention this church to Meadow before? And I remember, I can't remember which episode it was, but he took her into the church specifically and he was talking about like how it was built. And I feel like the church on a religious level, it doesn't connect with Tony as much because he's made fun of the religion in this show and he's not that religious himself. But like in terms of its meaning, it holds such a strong meaning in terms of like what it means to be an Italian, about his cultural heritage and things like that. But with Meadow, I think I love the distinction this episode depicts in terms of like he didn't even bother to take AJ into it and explain to him, how it's built. Sort of like to teach him the ways and show him rather than just telling him in the car. Whereas with Meadow, he actually took her in to the church and explained to her how it was built. Because I remember there was a specific scene where they were walking and like he was showing her the archways and things like that and the artwork, and yeah, with AJ it was just in the car. And I just feel like that's just to explain right there, or the show's depicting just like how distant, or not how distant the relationship between AJ and Tony is, but like on that level, like that they don't have that level of connection between Tony and Meadow, or it's not as strong as Tony and Meadow. So I really enjoyed that part of the episode in terms of that depiction. And yeah, Tony, I don't know, that ending right there, like I said, it's probably him, balling up his emotions, and, just letting loose at the end. He couldn't contain it any longer. And that's back-to-back episodes where Tony had to deal with sort of like a big blow, losing Gloria, finding out how she was taken, and then as well with Irina. It's like him losing 2 girls in like the span of 2 episodes in terms of like Irina, going with the assemblyman, someone close to him. I think because I remember Irina saying she was getting married, but that must have been like, that must have been dead in the water, unless it is the assemblyman. But like someone close to Tony, or someone who can offer him a positional advantage, or like someone that he could benefit of, is just dating a girl he knows. So it's like, I feel like if it was someone else, maybe not. But the fact that it's the assemblyman, and like the fact that every time he sees the assemblyman, he's just gonna think of him effing Irina, I think that, rubs Tony the wrong way. So just a little bit of extra thoughts at the end there. Another solid episode of this show. It's fantastic.